trust that you made your journey here safely and that you managed to find us. It is a bit of a challenge, especially in this winter weather and fresh snow that we've recently received. And what was your name? Just to make sure that you are the guest that I have down and that is expected this evening. What is your name? Okay, yes, perfect. That is indeed the name that I have written down for you, which at this point we might just have given their space to you. I mean, you are here after all, and that's most of what matters. So, but that is great. So I'm glad to finally meet you. I know we have spoken on the phone a bit, but yeah. So, well, that's wonderful. So let's dive into some of the amenities now that we've gotten formal introductions out of the way. So, there's one thing that I forgot. We do like to offer coffee, tea, espresso. Would you like anything? Would you like maybe a bit of one, a bit of both, a bit of a sample? You're good? Okay, well, if you change your mind, just let me know and I will get you a cup of freshly brewed coffee or tea, if that's more your style. So, in fact, I just put on a pot of coffee. It is the only thing that keeps me awake at this hour. But we do have someone at this desk all through the night in case you have any questions, any problems, if anything doesn't work, or if something is not quite up to your standards. Although I can almost guarantee that your room will meet and perhaps exceed your expectations, as I personally check every room before guests arrive. Yes, we take your comfort and your enjoyment very seriously at this lodge, and yeah, it is surprising. I will say most lodges and hotels do not have quite the same standard of quality and assurance as we do, but I believe you will find it more common than not in this part of Iceland. Well, I know you are staying with us for several nights. Is that the extent of your trip, or will you be staying somewhere else while you're here? Yes, that's wonderful. So we are glad to have you for most of your trip, as you say, and that you're going to take a separate journey to see the volcanoes. Yeah, I highly recommend. And unfortunately, we are far enough away that it would not be practical to stay here during that leg of your journey, as it were, but I sincerely wish it was, and perhaps we will open a second location, second lodge, much closer, where you can come back and find out how much we have improved our already high standards. Yes, add it to the list. So, sorry, getting back to our amenities that we offer here. So, we offer a multitude of excursions, in-cabin experiences, and overall aesthetic and curated opportunities. So, the first amenity, I suppose, is, you perhaps have noticed it, but right over there we have a full dining room with each meal prepared specifically for you. And what's more is, it is not of any fee to you. Yes, it is built into the package. Because we believe that if you are coming to our lodge, you deserve the full experience, and there should not be anything that takes a choice or to worry about, should I do this, should I pay for this? No, this is an entirely built-in experience. So, yes, we find that the guests absolutely love the inclusivity and, honestly, the ability to just completely unplug and not have to worry about anything at all. So, as I was saying, over there we have a lovely, I believe it is 4-star restaurant. We are trying very hard to achieve that 5th star, but you see, it is somewhat difficult in this remote area, as the judges are a bit reluctant to venture out this far very often. So, rest assured, it is top notch. We offer breakfast, lunch, dinner, and evening dessert or cocktail hour each night. And I will say, one of the favorites of nearly every guest is the cocktail hour. It is truly something special. And as I've said, everything is inclusive. And that does include the cocktail hour. So most people are absolutely thrilled to hear that. And I see, based on your expression, that you are no exception, which I love to see. So we do have, yes, we do have a variety of options, and I'll go over them in a bit more detail later this evening when you venture down to the, yes, I know it is already somewhat late, but you have to remember that in this area, the sun goes down very early. I believe today it was 1 p.m. So it is only, what time? 6:30 right now. So I know I said I need that coffee to keep me awake, and it is certainly true. When it is this dark or this long, it is easy to call it a night at 5 p.m. Yes, well, right, in the summer it is the exact opposite, and you're right, we do get more than our fair share of sunlight, so you must come back in the summer to experience that, of course. Yeah, so as I was saying, I will go over the drink items this evening. The cocktail bar opens at 9 p.m. and goes until 1 a.m. So, yes, so you'll hear much more about that in a few hours. But the one thing that I will talk about next is dinner, because we are approaching that time. So, dinner serves from 6 to 9 each evening, and tonight's specialty is a filet mignon, and unfortunately you are only allowed to get it either medium rare or rare, because we do not believe in presenting you anything less than optimal quality. And if you get your steak, especially a filet mignon, if you get it done well done, it is simply not the optimal way, in my opinion, at least. So that is our specialty of the evening. We have a variety of sides. We have soups, salads. We have designer, yes, I know. We have designer salad dressings imported from Paris, Italy, and some home blends made right here in Iceland. And then for a drink, we offer a variety of wines, specialty wines grown just south. Yes, a variety grown actually on this island in a small temperature control environment that produces what we call a winter grape, which makes one of the absolute best wines. Yes, I am. Exactly. I am more than happy to get your sample before you try, but remember, it is entirely part of your prepaid package, and you do not have to worry about prices of bottles and glasses. We just want you to enjoy the evening the way it was designed to be. Yes, I know, that is always something I look forward to as well. So, and I will say, I do always have a glass when anyone comes in. And say, it is a perk of the job, and it doesn't hurt that I am the manager. I cannot be fired, and the guests do not seem to mind. They are too busy enjoying themselves with our winter grapes. So, well, perhaps enough speech on dinner, and I will briefly mention lunch and breakfast tomorrow. So, for lunch tomorrow, we offer a choice of a homemade, hearty, warm winter stew that includes steak, venison, vegetables, and even a couple of small fruits, which most people are very unusual with, or they are unfamiliar with when it comes to soup and stew, but it is truly a underappreciated addition. It really, it brings something out that you don't get from meat and vegetables, but I would recommend that soup. It is called our, can you guess? Winter soup. I may have already said so. But it is phenomenal and not to be missed. But, as I did say, you do have a choice, and your other choice is, get ready, a fresh roasted duck with asparagus, again a side of fruit, and a bit of a specialty seasoning that we received. I'm hundreds of compliments, if not thousands, over the years. So, yes, and everything is locally sourced within the island. Yes, it is quite impressive. So, and then for breakfast, which will be coming up perhaps sooner than we expect, breakfast tomorrow will offer a full range espresso bar coffee with beans pulled from a variety of locations across the globe with quality and unique flavor profiles being the core of yes, I must say there are some incredible beans that when I tried them, I could not say no. So yeah, a vast array of coffee and espresso. Then we have a award-winning barista on staff from 6 a.m. until 11 a.m. to provide any drink, specialty that you may want. Yes, and as far as breakfast, we have homemade cinnamon rolls, scones, and once in a while, some pancakes or waffles. I don't know if those will be tomorrow, but they will for sure have homemade scones and homemade cinnamon rolls, which are absolutely incredible. Paired with the, oh my goodness, I get so hungry even just thinking about it, but paired with the coffee, it is honestly heavenly. You must make time for breakfast, and as I've said, it goes until 11 a.m., so you should have no trouble making it down. Yes, so we always find it, well, I should say, I always find it quite unsettling and, well, rather unpleasant when a hotel or lodge ends their breakfast at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. because your bed is meant for sleeping, and we are not in any need to rush you out. So, in fact, we prefer that you savor and enjoy your morning, relax, take your time, and come down when you feel completely ready to begin your day. Yes, and also, I will say the coffee bar is sort of right to the left out of your room. It's only a few steps away, so you will not have to go too far before you get your morning coffee. We've learned that well, let's just say the unfortunate way that some guests were, you know what I mean. So, coffee station is quite close to the room. And then it's time to talk about the excursions and adventures and opportunities that we offer. Exactly. So, within your room, we will start with the basic amenities. But these rooms are far from basic. We offer an in-room hot tub, jacuzzi, spa. Yes. With temperature regulation left up to the guest. We want to make sure that your spa experience is as enjoyable and comfortable as possible. You may have gone in a hot tub or jacuzzi that was less than optimally heated, and I always feel that that is one of the worst betrayals that you can have. So we ensure that your jacuzzi is completely up to your standards with a temperature range far exceeding most standard spas. In addition to that, we do offer astounding views of the winter forest with lounge chairs on your built-in patio. It is around 6 by 6 feet that allows you to step outside in the evening, in the morning, or even in the middle of the night and just soak in the evening winter air. In fact, several guests have stated that they have seen polar bears, elk, moose, black bears, and even the occasional grizzly bear right outside of their window. Because you do have to remember, we are in an area filled with wildlife. It is quite remote and quite beautiful. And you're not to worry, as no one, well, I suppose there was one, but nearly no one has ever been attacked or injured by these wild animals, although they are incredibly beautiful to enjoy from a safe distance, namely from your built-in patio. Yes, so, oh, I almost forgot to mention, out on your patio, we do offer a fire, a little fire pit. We have several chairs and a few heaters on the sides, just in case the roaring fire is not quite warm enough, as it does get quite cold at night around here. You have to remember, we are nearly in the Arctic, and it's certainly not summer, but I suppose that is part of why people even come. Oh, one more thing about the patio. This is honestly one of the best parts, is it is in the exact ideal direction to watch the northern lights, which around here lately have been occurring nearly every night. And these are not the simple green hues that you see sometimes. These have been elaborate purple, pink spirals and designs that would put an artist to shame. Okay, now we get to talk about the fun part. If the rest was not quite up to your expectations, we offer a variety of exciting adventures and thrilling excursions. Yes, and honestly, we have something for everyone. So, the first thing that we offer is a guided mountain biking tour, which will be a bit challenging just since we received a rather large snowfall last night and the trails are not packed down yet, but it could make for a more adventurous journey. It is a 3.5 mile moderate journey through the greater woods and leading up to Bluestone Mountain, but we don't actually go up very far because we are riding bikes in the snow, you see, and they are not designed for extensive snow. So that is one opportunity. It is somewhat beginner friendly generally, but because of the heavy snow we just received, it might be a bit more of a advanced opportunity. So the next option is actually out on Crystal Lake, which you may have seen earlier. And in fact, we offer a multitude of experiences on Crystal Lake. In a small patch of lake that we keep unfrozen and thawed, we offer a guided winter kayaking tour that goes past an old eagle's nest. It goes past a beaver's den. It goes past where many folks have claimed to see a black bear and a grizzly bear, if I am correct, coming out of hibernation, although at this time of year they are probably fast asleep. Additionally, on the lake we offer ice skating with a professional skater who competed in, you guessed it, the Olympics for Iceland just a few years back. Yes, he is a professional ice skater. He has been skating for roughly 30 years, and he would be more than happy to guide you through the basics up to much more advanced tricks and maneuvers, such as flying spins and things that are far out of my skill set. Although when I consider how long I have been here and how long he has been here, I am surprised that I am not a vastly more skilled ice skater than I am. But within a couple of sessions, you can go from skating on essentially no knowledge to being a professional-ish appearance. Yes, just within a few lessons, he is truly that good. And I must say, I have seen guests go from stepping onto the ice and falling down within 2 steps to doing a spin within 3 days here at the lodge. Yes, so that is one opportunity that is especially popular. And we also have an ice fishing excursion, which is definitely only enjoyable to a select few, but we like to give the opportunity because it is truly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to go ice fishing on Crystal Lake in Iceland with the northern lights in the background and perhaps a polar bear in the distance. Although if you do see a polar bear coming near you, I do recommend that you perhaps throw your fish and let nature run its course, as these are dangerous animals and not trained in the slightest. Yes, we like to keep the environment very rugged and real. Yes. So, another excursion or adventure that we offer is, in fact, a mountain climb up our mountain. If you have plenty of time, we have a guide who will take you through the basics of mountain climbing, provide you with all of the gear that is necessary, and they take you up about 2,000 meters over the course of, I believe, a day or 2. It is a journey that is certainly not for the faint of heart, as yes, it can appear quite treacherous at times, but our guide has only lost 1 guest over the years, so rest assured that you are likely not the second, but of course I can make no promises, and that is one adventure that will require a waiver of liability in case a avalanche or rock slide occurs, but of course these are very rare and very uncommon. I assure that I have done my best to almost dissuade you from this adventure, although it is routinely reported to be one of the most exciting and thrilling and honestly memorable experiences that most people claim to have ever had, and certainly to have had on their journey to Iceland. But I try to dissuade people more than persuade people, as it is a treacherous endeavor. But it is thrilling in its own way. So, Have any of these appealed to you at all? You want to try the hike? Do you mean the mountain climb? Yeah. Okay. Well, you can't say I didn't warn you, but come back tomorrow morning and we will discuss it a bit more. And I will have your gear and everything ready if you decide that it's truly something you wish to pursue. And I don't mean to dissuade you too much. It is a thrilling and very fun adventure. So, yes, I am honestly a bit excited to have someone take me up on this offer, and I assure you that our guide, who rarely has a guest join him, will be overjoyed to hear that he has another mentee to take up the mountain. So, yes, well that's wonderful. And I will say there is also one more very popular, actually, adventure that is a bit less outdoorsy and a bit less dangerous, and that is a wine tasting. It is always quite popular. We have a variety of wines grown within our private greenhouse, those winter grapes that I mentioned earlier, and we also import a few wines from Italy and France and even Australia, I believe, to give you a worldly and full-bodied, to pull a word from wine, experience. Yes, we have, of course, and yes, I should mention that if I didn't mention this earlier, in our cocktail lounge, we do offer a variety of whiskeys and other spirits besides wine. It should go without saying. So, the wine tasting is quite enjoyable, and nearly everyone who goes finds it to be a very enjoyable experience. So, would you like to sign up for the wine tasting? Again, at no additional price to you. Yes, wonderful. Let's get you signed up for that. And then I also wanted to briefly describe your room so that you aren't surprised when you go upstairs. So, your room is called the Winter Resort, and it is appropriately named Resort as it is absolutely fully outfitted for deep and total relaxation. When you walk in the door, you are greeted by a lovely throw rug, which is the finest materials and fur that you see most places do not even think to include. But I will say it makes stepping into your room a luxurious and beautiful experience. And once you step inside, you will see a lovely full-size refrigerator stocked with drinks, snacks, beverages, and everything in between to ensure that your stay is as resort-like and enjoyable as possible. We have warm crystal lighting that is a very unique way of simulating the crimson light of a sunset at all times of the day. And for the specialty spa and bathroom, we have heated floors, which are always a top hit in our rooms. Heated floors throughout the bathroom and spa area. And then we have an extra large king bed with a mattress made of the finest down that each, and I mean each guest, has raved about. It is truly a mattress that will provide you the type of sleep that you have only dreamed about. So, in addition to a lovely down mattress, we have pillows made of the finest feathers that we switch out very regularly to ensure that the pillow is exactly up to quality. We want to ensure that your stay with us is the most lovely and luxurious experience in all of Iceland, and ideally in most of the world. So, your room is absolutely meant to provide you with the utmost quality and relaxation that is possible. And as you can see, the interior woodwork and design is built with the guest and your optimal comfort in mind. So, I know it has been a long and thorough check-in process, but we want to ensure that you understand all of the amenities and opportunities provided you at this lodge, because they're far more, well, encompassing than most hotels or Airbnbs or even regular bed and breakfasts. We pride ourselves on doing just a little bit more and then bumping that up even further. So, do you have any questions for me? Any comments? Anything? Yes, so you can come just right back out to this office with any questions, or if you would like to change any plans or adventures or excursions. Oh yes, about the meals. So, as I said, lunch is the only thing that you will have really a choice in that needs to be prearranged. And all I mean when I say prearranged is when you sit down at the table, we will ask you at that point which you prefer. We will have both ready, and it doesn't matter which one you prefer, as we will enjoy the other. So, wonderful. Yes. Okay. So, well, I'm glad that we cleared everything up and that you fully understand, at least as much as you need to at this point, what your stay entails. So, I hope that you enjoy your stay, and your room is number 213. Yes. Well, wonderful. So, here's your key, and well, if you need anything, I will be right here. And welcome again to our lodge.